Good morning everyone. Today we are going to start with the new lesson number 3, metals and non-metals. But before starting the lesson, I am really very glad that today in my video you can see me also. But it's a little difficult that I can't see you people. But let it be. Very soon in the future we will meet in our live classes again. So, before starting the lesson, I just want to ask you that have you completed all the previous work which we have done? Means 2 lessons of chemistry and all that. So, if you have not completed it yet, try to complete it as soon as possible, because we are moving really very fast. As you are in 10th standard, you have to study a lot. So, you must have to finish your lesson before which we have taught. Okay, so we are starting with the lesson with the PPT presentation which I have made for you. So let's start with chapter 3, metals and non-metals. This lesson is from the chemistry. A little description of this lesson you have studied in standard 8 also. There you have lots of discussion about the physical properties of metals, means कि metals कैसे होते हैं और नॉन मेटल्स कैसे होते हैं, उनको बाहर से देखने पे उन पे क्या प्रॉपर्टीज़ पता चलती हैं. Because whenever we are talking about the physical properties, it is like that only. Okay. So there are total 118 elements present on Earth. See, from where we get these elements, these are the elements which we get from the Earth crust actually, okay. So on the basis of their general physical and chemical properties, every element in the periodic table can be termed either a metal or a non-metal. See, first of all, here I would like to say you what is the meaning of elements. Okay. So, in standard 9th, we have studied about elements, compounds and the mixtures. Okay. So, these are the 3 different classes of the substances which is present around ourselves. So out of that, elements are the pure substances. Means अगर मैं तुम्हें एक लोहे का टुकड़ा दे दूं और बोलूं कि इसको आप तोड़ो, तो whenever you are going to break it, the last part which you get, that is also the iron only, it is nothing else. So elements क्या होते हैं? Till the last atom, they are the same thing. They are not the mixtures of anything else. So from where do you get these elements? These elements are found in the earth crust. In the free form they can you can get them, or either in the form of their compounds you can get them. Okay. So जैसे मान लो अगर आपको कॉपर चाहिए, ठीक है, तो कॉपर is the element. And where if you found it in the earth crust, आपने सोने की खान सुनी होगी कि सोना जो है वो खान में मिलता है. मतलब क्या है उसका कि it is inside the earth crust, and whenever you want them you have to take it out and you have to clean it, and then you get the pure element whichever you want. So out of these 118 elements, some are the metals, some are the non-metals, and a third category is also here which you need to understand in standard 10th. It is the metalloids. Metalloids can be termed as semi-metals also, because metalloids are having the property intermediate in between. Intermediate क्या? मतलब कि they are having some of the properties of metals also and some of the properties of non-metals also. That's why we called them as the semi-metals. Okay. Here I have listed some of the examples of metals, as for example gold, copper, silver, aluminium. These are the common elements which is present around yourself, and you knew it very well that these are the metals. And some of the non-metals also, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. Generally, all the gases, whatever gases you know that these names, they are the non-metals only. And the metalloid's name is also here, it is silicon. Silicon is the metalloid which is used in preparing chip. चिप आपको पता है कंप्यूटर चिप होता है, फ़ोन की चिप होती है, उसके अंदर जो आप कार्ड वगैरह लगाते हो, मेमोरी कार्ड, सिम कार्ड्स वगैरह रहते हैं. सो दीज चिप्स आर मेड अप ऑफ द सिलिकन्स. ठीक है. So here we have a brief description and the introduction about the meaning of elements and various types of it also. Here I have compared the physical properties of metals and non-metals. Okay. So first of all, what do you mean by the physical properties? So physical properties are the properties of the substances which we can observe from the outside. आपको एटम्स वगैरह ऑब्जर्व करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, बाहर से देखने पे आपको जो चीज़ें नज़र आ रही हैं वो फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टीज़ हैं. See, these properties which I have listed here, you have understand these properties in the 8th standard also, but I will define it here also. See, first property, physical properties is listed in one of the columns. So the physical property is malleability and ductility. So what is the meaning of that? Malleability and ductility is the property. Malleability means to convert into thin sheets. आप अगर मेटल के टुकड़े को हैमर करते हो, हाँ, उसको हथौड़े से मार रहे हो, तो इट कैन बी कन्वर्टेड इनटू थिन शीट विदाउट ब्रेकिंग. लेकिन अगर मैंने कोई नॉन मेटल ले लिया, जैसे कि कार्बन, कोयले का एक टुकड़ा ले लो और उसको हैमर करोगे, तो इट इज़ कन्वर्टेड इनटू द फॉर्म ऑफ पाउडर. इट इज़ नॉट कन्वर्टेड इनटू थिन शीट. आपको अगर मैं बोलूँ कि मेटल को थिन शीट में कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं, येस, डेफिनेटली. You have observed the aluminium foil which we are using at our home for packing the food material. So आप देखो कि वो मेटल के टुकड़े को कितना ज़्यादा उन्होंने थिन शीट में कन्वर्ट किया है. इवन आप मिठाइयों के ऊपर चांदी का वर्क लगा हुआ होता है, दैट इज़ ऑल्सो द थिन शीट ऑफ सिल्वर विच इज़ अ मेटल. So thin sheets. Ductility means to convert into the form of wire. So copper is the very common example that a metal can be converted into the wires. Even gold can be converted into the wires for forming the different kinds of jewelries. So if we compare metal and non-metal on this property, metals are malleable. They can be beaten into thin sheet. They are also ductile and can be drawn into wires. मतलब उनको वायर में चेंज कर सकते हैं और उनकी थिन शीट को आप बना सकते हो. नॉन मेटल्स आर नीदर malleable nor ductile. Examples are given here, coal and sulfur. मेटल्स में सोडियम, पोटेशियम, ऐसे मेटल्स को छोड़ के बाकी सारे मेटल्स को आप थिन शीट में कन्वर्ट कर सकते हो. द नेक्स्ट प्रॉपर्टी इज ऑफ मेटालिक लस्टर. लस्टर मीन्स क्या? चमक. वेन एवर यू पॉलिश द सर्फेस ऑफ मेटल, इट इज़ हैविंग अ लस्टर अबव इट. उसके ऊपर एक चमक होती है. आप देखो सोने में कितनी चमक है, चांदी चमकती है. अगर आप कॉपर के बर्तन को साफ कर दो, वो चमकने लगता है. सो मेटालिक लस्टर इज द स्पेसिफिक प्रॉपर्टी विच इज रिलेटेड विद द मेटल्स. दे डू नॉट शो एनी मेटालिक लस्टर. नॉन मेटल्स पे कोई भी लस्टर नहीं होता है. हार्डनेस. मेटल्स आर जनरली हार्ड इन नेचर. नॉन मेटल्स आर सॉफ्ट एज कंपेयर टू मेटल्स. See, here we are going through the physical properties. So everywhere must be exceptions are also there. मतलब generally वो वैसा होता है, लेकिन एक दो एग्जाम्पल्स ऐसे मिलेंगे जो कि उसको फॉलो नहीं करते होंगे. ये जो रूल्स हैं उसको फॉलो नहीं करते होंगे. सो हियर वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द physical properties. So exceptions are always present. Physical state, metals are generally present in the solid state, whereas non-metals are present in all three different forms: solid, liquid and gases. Sonorous. Metals are sonorous and produce characteristic metallic sound when struck. सोनोरस मीन्स क्या? उसमें से आवाज़, अगर आप लोहे की एक शीट ले लो और उसके ऊपर बीट करो, इट विल प्रोड्यूस द साउंड. इवन एल्यूमिनियम का अगर शीट है, शीट मीन्स कि फॉयल नहीं, अगर कोई ऐसी शीट है जो रूफ वगैरह को ढकने के लिए काम आती है, अगर आप उसके ऊपर भी बीट करोगे तो इट विल ऑल्सो प्रोड्यूस सम ऑफ द साउंड. Non-metals, they are non-sonorous. They are not producing the sound. Density. Metals are having high density. Non-metals are low density. High density मतलब क्या? Mass upon volume. In standard 9th, in the first lesson only, you have studied about the term density. So, it is high density. Metals are having high density and the non-metals are low density. Electrical conductivity. Metals can conduct electricity while non-metals could not conduct electricity. A very common example of this is copper wires. We are using copper wires at our home for the conduction of electricity. आपके घर पे जितनी भी वायरिंग के लिए जो वायर्स यूज होते हैं, they are made up of the copper and they can conduct electricity, while non-metals will not conduct the electricity. See, in I think in lesson number 12 you have studied that silver is the best conductor, but we are using copper because it is less expensive. Okay, so here we have the comparison about the metals and non-metal in terms of their physical properties. Okay, बाहर से दिखने वाली प्रॉपर्टी. बट लेटर ऑन यू फाइंड दैट देयर आर सम ऑफ द एक्सेप्शंस ऑल्सो. सो इफ द एक्सेप्शंस आर प्रेजेंट वी कुड नॉट रिलाई अपॉन, हमें इस पे भरोसा नहीं हो सकता है क्योंकि यहाँ पे एक्सेप्शंस होंगे. सो मोर रिलायबल मेथड इज टू फाइंड आउट द केमिकल प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ मेटल्स एंड नॉन मेटल्स. सो अगर कोई आपको बोले कि मैं फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टी बता रहा हूँ और आप बता दो कि ये मेटल है या नॉन मेटल है, तो आप बता सकते हो, लेकिन उसमें एक्सेप्शंस आएंगे. बट व्हेन यू आर गोइंग थ्रू द केमिकल प्रॉपर्टीज, इट इज़ द मोर रिलायबल मेथड. केमिकल प्रॉपर्टी से आपको एक्चुअल पता चलेगा कि येस दिस वन इज़ द मेटल एंड दिस वन इज़ द नॉन मेटल. सो मूविंग टू द नेक्स्ट वन. Here I have listed some of the exceptions. In your textbook also these exceptions are present. Mercury is a metal but liquid at room temperature. Iodine is a non-metal but it is lustrous. Gallium and cesium are the metals with very low melting point. See, gallium generally metals are having high melting point and high boiling point. But gallium and cesium are having very low melting point as if you keep them on your hands. अगर अपने हाथ पे रखते हो तो वो हाथ की गर्मी से पिघल जाता है, ऐसा होता है. Carbon is a non-metal, can exist in different forms, luster like diamond and coal also. कार्बन नॉन मेटल है, लेकिन कार्बन नेचर में कोल, ग्रेफाइट, डायमंड ऐसे अलग अलग फॉर्म में प्रेजेंट होता है. डायमंड में बहुत चमक होती है, लेकिन आप ये नहीं बोल सकते हो कि डायमंड जो है वो मेटल है. डायमंड इज स्टिल नॉन मेटल ओनली. क्यों? बिकॉज इट इज मेड अप ऑफ कार्बन ओनली. कार्बन कैन कंडक्ट इलेक्ट्रिसिटी इन द फॉर्म ऑफ ग्रेफाइट. इन द इलेक्ट्रिकल सेल ग्रेफाइट इज देयर विच इज़ यूज्ड एज द इलेक्ट्रोड. आपके घर पे वो सेल होता है छोटा वाला, पेंसिल बैटरी जिसको आप बोलते हो, पेंसिल सेल. सो दैट सेल इज हैविंग ग्रेफाइट इनटू इट एंड इट इज कंडक्टिंग द इलेक्ट्रिसिटी. Sodium, potassium and lithium are metals but very soft. Generally, metals could not be cut with knife. But these are the metals which can cut with the help of the knife. They are the very soft metals. Now we have to study about the chemical properties of metals. So here some of the reactions I have shown. First is reaction with oxygen, means how the metal reacts with oxygen. So most of the metals form respective metal oxide when reacts with oxygen. Metal plus oxygen, metal oxide. But you can see that reaction with oxygen means it is somehow the burning. For burning we need oxygen. But most of the metals, it is not possible every time that the metal will burn into the फायर व्हेन यू यूज द ऑक्सीजन. लोहे को अगर आप आग लगाओगे उसमें आग नहीं लगेगी, बट इट इज कवर्ड, इट्स सरफेस इज कवर्ड विथ द ब्लैक लेयर विच इज ऑक्साइड लेयर. हियर आई हैव गिवन यू द एग्जाम्पल ऑफ मैग्नीशियम. See, magnesium ribbons burning you have studied in standard 9th also. जब मैग्नीशियम का एक छोटा सा टुकड़ा लेके स्पिरिट लैम्प में हमने जलाया था, तो देयर यू हैव सीन दैट इट बर्न्स विथ वाइट डैजलिंग फ्लेम, वेरी ब्राइट वाइट कलर की फ्लेम के साथ आपका मैग्नीशियम जला था. So burning of magnesium is the example of formation of magnesium oxide. In lesson 1 also you have studied this reaction, magnesium plus oxygen, it forms your magnesium oxide. Here one more reaction is given, reaction of aluminium with oxygen. Aluminium metal does not react with oxygen at room temperature, but it gives aluminium oxide when burned in air. See, it is not possible that it burns very easily with the oxygen, but it will take some time and it will burn. So here aluminium plus oxygen, it forms aluminium oxide. See, iron, when you keep the iron article in the open place, it forms the rust. आपको पता है उसके ऊपर जंग लगती है. Rust is nothing else, it is also the iron oxide only. So it is not possible every time that every metal can burn in the presence of oxygen, but they form the oxide layer above it. So metal plus oxygen, it forms your metal oxide. This one is the general reaction. Moving to this one is the topic which is present in your textbook, page number 41. You should must refer to this page and you kindly mark down that sentence there. The sentence is about amphoteric oxide. So here first of all, what is the meaning of amphoteric oxides? Generally, metal oxides are basic in nature, but some of them show both acid as well as basic nature, called as amphoteric oxides. See, whenever you take metal oxide, as for example MgO, magnesium oxide, and if you dissolve it into water, it forms magnesium hydroxide. Okay, but magnesium hydroxide, when you check it with litmus paper, it will show you the basic nature. Means your red litmus paper turns into the blue one. So generally all the metal oxides are basic in nature, but some of the metal oxides behaves both as an acid and the base. I have listed the example here about the aluminium oxide. Aluminium oxide behaves both as an acid and a base. So अगर आप उसको acid से reaction कराओगे तो it is the same reaction like the neutralization reaction. It forms the salt and water, and if it is reacting with the base, it forms again the salt and water. I have given you the two examples here, zinc oxide and the aluminium oxide. Aluminium oxide's reaction is given in your textbook. The zinc oxide reaction is not given in the textbook. that can be used, if you want you can use from here also. Okay, so क्या रिएक्शन है यहाँ पे आप देख लोगे. Aluminium oxide plus HCl, it forms aluminium chloride plus water, and aluminium oxide plus NaOH, which one is the base here, so it forms sodium aluminate and water. Aluminium chloride and sodium aluminate both are the salts here, and with that water is formed. So here it is the example of the amphoteric oxide. In the similar way, zinc oxide plus hydrochloric acid, it forms zinc chloride plus water. Zinc chloride is the salt here. Zinc oxide plus NaOH forms your sodium zincate, which is again the salt and water. So here I have shown you about the amphoteric oxides. Here I will tell you about the method of anodizing. Anodizing method is present in your textbook in the page number 42. In the box portion, orange box is there, you can see that. So what is anodizing? Anodizing is the method where aluminium metal is covered by the aluminium oxide. Why should we cover? Because we want to resist the corrosion. एल्यूमिनियम मेटल को कोई नुकसान ना हो हवा से, पानी से, उससे बचने के लिए वी आर कवरिंग दैट सरफेस विद द एल्यूमिनियम ऑक्साइड. एंड हाउ डू वी डू दैट? दैट इज फॉलोड बाय द इलेक्ट्रोलाइसिस, जिसे हम करते हैं ना, तो आपको एनोड और कैथोड को यूज़ करना है, और H2SO4 आप डाइल्यूट सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड को यूज़ करोगे, और वहाँ से जो ऑक्सीजन की लेयर है वो जाके आपके जो भी आपने आयन एल्यूमिनियम का जो भी, जनरली इट इज़ डन फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ द डेकोरेशन. आपके आप देखोगे पेन वगैरह के ऊपर कलर डालने के लिए, या बहुत सारे ऐसे आर्टिकल्स होते हैं जो एल्यूमिनियम से बने होते हैं, दे आर कवर्ड विद द एल्यूमिनियम ऑक्साइड. हियर वी कैन यूज़ द कलर ऑल्सो. सो वो डेकोरेटिव लुक भी देता है, प्लस इट इज स्टॉपिंग द कोरोजन ऑफ द मेटल ऑल्सो. सो दिस मेथड इज फॉलोड. हियर आई हैव लिस्टेड यू सम ऑफ द substances which is anodized here. You can see that wheel, जो ये कार का अलॉयड व्हील होता है, उसके ऊपर कलर्ड कवरिंग के लिए आपके ये जो आजकल आप देखते होंगे प्रेशर कुकर वगैरह रेड कलर में, ब्लैक में, ब्लू में आने लगे हैं, तो दीज आर ऑल्सो कवर्ड बाय द सेम मेथड ऑफ एनोडाइजिंग. ये जो कॉस्मेटिक्स के जो जिसके अंदर कॉस्मेटिक्स होते हैं, वो जो बर्तन होता है वो कवर्ड होता है. इवन द मेकअप एंड ज्वेलरी आइटम्स आर ऑल्सो एनोडाइज्ड बाय द help of the aluminium oxides, and here the color is also mixed. So by the coloring, mixing the color, we can give it the decorative finish also. Reaction of metals with water. So whenever a metal reacts with water, it gives you the metal hydroxide. ऑक्सीजन से react हुआ तो oxide, water से react होगा तो hydroxide. So metal hydroxide plus hydrogen. Examples I have given here. Here I have given you the example of reaction of sodium with the water. It forms sodium hydroxide and water. See, why I have taken the example of sodium? Because sodium is the very reactive metal. So it reacts very fast with water. If we'll take the other metals like iron, aluminium, it will take lots of time to react. Even sometime the water at normal temperature will not react. We have to use steam. स्टीम, जो लोहे का पानी का भाप बना के फिर उसको यूज़ करते हैं हम रिएक्शन दिखाने के लिए. हियर आई हैव शोन यू द रिएक्शन ऑफ कैल्शियम ऑल्सो. कैल्शियम प्लस वाटर, इट फॉर्म्स कैल्शियम हाइड्रोक्साइड एंड हाइड्रोजन गैस इज लिबरेटेड. How do you know that hydrogen gas is liberated? That we have studied in lesson 2 also, by producing pop sound. If we take the burning matchstick near the mouth of the test tube, it produces pop sound, and we know that yes, the hydrogen gas is produced here. So here in the case of calcium, see, in the case of sodium, the gas is the hydrogen gas which is liberated can catch the fire very easily because it is very reactive one. But in the case of calcium, the amount of hydrogen is not that much. But during the reaction, the calcium is floating on the surface of water. आप जब पानी में कैल्शियम को रिएक्ट होने के लिए दोगे तो वो कैल्शियम के टुकड़े जो हैं वो पानी के ऊपर फ्लोट होने लगेंगे, तैरने लगेंगे. Why this happen? Because it is one of the give reason also. Why this happen? Because the hydrogen which is produced here is not enough to catch the fire, but bubbles of that hydrogen gas stick to the surface of calcium and it's floating. वो जो बबल्स बनेंगे हाइड्रोजन गैस के, वो कैल्शियम के टुकड़े से चिपक जाएंगे और वो आपके कैल्शियम के टुकड़े को फ्लोट, तैराने लगेंगे. ठीक है. Next one is reaction of metals with dilute acid. This reaction we have shown in the lesson 2 also. Acid based salt में भी हमने देखा है. Metal plus acid, it forms your metal salt and hydrogen gas is again liberated. Here I have given you the example of aluminium. Aluminium plus HCl, it forms aluminium chloride plus hydrogen gas is liberated. Again, if we want to see the presence of hydrogen gas, we can burn it, and by burning it, it produces the pop sound. Here I have shown you the zinc plus, again the next acid, not hydrochloric acid. Here I have used the sulfuric acid. So it forms zinc sulfate plus hydrogen. You can use the other metals also, and you can find out the similar type of reaction. Here 2 metals I have used, aluminium and zinc. You can use other methods also and form own type of reactions also. Reaction with nitric acid. Nitric acid is one of the acid, but it is not reacting in the similar way as the hydrochloric acid and sulfuric acid. Hydrochloric acid मतलब HCl and sulfuric acid is H2SO4. वैसा react नहीं करता है. क्यों? Because this is given in your textbook also, so you can mark this sentence from there also. Because somewhere they can ask you that why nitric acid is not reacting in the same way like the other acids. Because it is the strong oxidizing agent. Now what is the meaning of oxidizing agent? जो ऑक्सीजन देता है उसको हम बोलते हैं ऑक्सीडाइजिंग एजेंट. सो हियर इट इज़ द स्ट्रॉन्ग ऑक्सीडाइजिंग एजेंट. सो जैसे ही हाइड्रोजन गैस बनेगी, दैट हाइड्रोजन गैस इज कन्वर्टेड इनटू द वाटर. ऑक्सीजन उसके साथ लग जाएगा क्योंकि ये सल्फ्यूर जो नाइट्रिक एसिड है वो ऑक्सीडाइजिंग एजेंट है, तो वो ऑक्सीजन प्रोवाइड कर देगा. तो H2 इज नॉट प्रेजेंट, इट इज कन्वर्टेड इनटू H2O. ऑक्सीजन साथ में आ जाएगा. But 2 of the metals are here, magnesium and manganese, which can react with the nitric acid. It forms magnesium nitrate and manganese nitrate. See, this reaction is not present in your textbook, so you kindly mark this sentence from here, or either you can take the reference from other textbook or the internet. But you can take a screenshot of this, that you will revise it afterwards. Okay. Now here, reaction of metals with solution of other metal salts. मतलब आपका एक मेटल है, बहुत कॉमन एग्जाम्पल देती हूँ मैं, आपने ये रिएक्शन बार बार करके देखा है. Fe plus CuSO4, इट फॉर्म्स योर FeSO4 plus Cu. ये रिएक्शन आपने बहुत बार, लोहे की एक नेल ली थी और उसको ब्लू कलर के कॉपर सल्फेट सोल्यूशन में डिप करके रखा था. आफ्टर सम टाइम व्हाट यू हैव सीन, जो लोहे की नेल थी वो कवर हो जाती है ब्राउन कलर के लेयर से. विच वन इज द कॉपर हियर. सो मेटल कौन सा हो गया आपका? Fe इज द मेटल एंड CuSO4 इज द मेटल सॉल्ट. मेटल सॉल्ट किसका? किसी और का. ऐसा नहीं कि आप कॉपर लो और कॉपर सल्फेट में डिप करो, नहीं. So here displacement reaction can be seen. This reaction you have studied in lesson 1 also. So displacement reaction can be seen. लेकिन हर जगह ये पॉसिबल हो ऐसा ज़रूरी नहीं है. द मेटल विच इज़ मोर रिएक्टिव वही डिस्प्लेस करेगा. मतलब अगर मैं यहाँ पे एक रिएक्शन दिखाऊँ आपको, Fe plus CuSO4, FeSO4 plus Cu. This one is the possible reaction. But if I change it, मतलब मैं Cu plus FeSO4 अगर कर दूंगी तो this reaction is not possible. Because यहाँ पे ये रिएक्शन जो है वो पॉसिबल नहीं होगा. क्यों नहीं पॉसिबल होगा? क्योंकि copper is less reactive than Fe. Later in this chapter you are going through the reactivity series. तब आपको पता चलेगा कौन से एलिमेंट्स कितने रिएक्टिव हैं. ओके. Here I have shown you the reaction of aluminium and copper sulfate, zinc and copper sulfate. Here zinc is more reactive than copper, aluminium is more reactive than copper, so the reactions are possible. But here silver plus copper sulfate, no reaction. Why? Silver is less reactive than copper. Au plus CuSO4, not possible. Why? Gold, Au means gold, Ag means silver. Au is again less reactive with the less reactive than copper. That's why the reaction is not possible. See here, all these reactions which I have taken is finished. But the need is that we'll revise it once more. So for the revision, what we have studied till the time now, we have studied about the physical properties of the metals and comparison of it with the non-metals. What are the physical properties? Like malleability, ductility, conduction, strong. Metals are strong in nature. They are present in the solid form. We have seen some of the exceptions also. As for example, mercury is present in the liquid form and iodine is having luster. So there are some of the exceptions. So we have relied upon the chemical properties. We have seen some of the chemical properties like reaction of metal with oxygen and it forms your metal oxide. Reaction of metal with the water, it forms metal hydroxide. Reaction of metal with the acid, it forms the salt and water. Hydrogen gas is liberated, which we can see with the pop sound. And reaction of metal with the metal salt, where we have the example of the Fe plus CuSO4 displacement reaction we can see. So these all are the chemical properties on which we can rely more. So this one is the topic which I have covered today, and some of the topics of this lesson is remain, which I will cover in my next video. By the time you read the lesson properly. Okay. So as we have completed with the PPT, as we have discussed the chemical properties of metals there in the PPT, but here I would like to explain you some of the properties again by giving you some other examples also. So first, remind with me whatever we have discussed. We have discussed about the reaction of metals with oxygen, reaction of metals with the water, reaction of metal with the dilute acids, reaction of metals with other metal salts. So that is all which we have discussed. Here I just want to take a quick recap by giving you some of the examples through the chemical equations. Okay. First is the reaction of the metal with your oxygen. So here I would like to take the example of zinc, which is a metal. Its reaction with oxygen, as the result it forms zinc oxide. So whenever a metal reacts with oxygen, it forms oxide of that metal. Here zinc is reacting with oxygen, so the oxide which is formed here is zinc oxide, which is the oxide of that metal only. Okay. I have discussed this example also with you. Magnesium plus oxygen, it forms magnesium oxide. Which one is the oxide of magnesium? So again here it is the metal and it is reacting with the oxygen and it forms magnesium oxide. So these are the examples where you can easily see that how the metal reacts with oxygen. Here if you want to balance this reaction, you have to put 1 2 here and 1 2 here. Here also you put 2 and here also 1 2. Now these chemical equations are the balanced one. Okay. Next is the example of the reaction of metal with the water. Here I would like to give you, as in the PPT you have seen the example of sodium reacting with water. Here I would like to show you the example of potassium reacting with water. So potassium, which is the metal, it is K, and water. After reaction it forms potassium hydroxide, which is KOH. So this is the hydroxide of the potassium. If you change it by sodium, so it forms the hydroxide of sodium. So the reaction of water with the metal, it forms hydroxide of that metal. So these are the examples which we have discussed here. Third one is reaction of metal with the acid. Here I would like to give you the example of zinc plus hydrochloric acid. It forms zinc chloride, and in the reaction hydrogen gas is liberated. As we have discussed earlier also, hydrogen gas is the gas which whose presence you can identify it by the a pop sound. When you bring a burning matchstick near the hydrogen gas, it is producing the pop sound. Okay. So zinc chloride, which one is the salt here? So whenever a metal reacts with an acid, it forms the salt of that metal and the hydrogen gas is liberated. This one is the procedure which is followed. If you change the metal, it will remain same. उस metal का वहाँ पे salt बनेगा. Okay. Now the next reaction is of the reaction of metal with the metal salt. Here I would like to give you the example of iron, which is Fe, and it reacts with the metal salt CuSO4. CuSO4 is the metal salt here. After reaction, Fe will displace Cu and it forms FeSO4 plus Cu. Why Fe displaces Cu? Because Fe is more reactive than copper. That's why it displaces it from the metal salt solution. So this reaction you have studied in the lesson 1 also. So here, and we have discussed many type of physical properties also, like malleability, ductility, luster, and the state of the metal also, that generally metals are present in the solid form. In my next video, we'll discuss more about many other things which is left in the lesson. Before that, you stay at home, read the lesson properly, and mark all the important things which is present at your home. We'll meet very soon in our next video. By the time, stay healthy, happy at your home.